Goals, aspirations, ambitions, everybody has them. But until you can actually operate and execute the ideas in your mind, you are living in a fantasy. And that makes you normal. Everybody has them. You can sit at a table and listen. Everyone has ideas. And you can actually revisit these tables years down the line, months down the line, and they still sit there in the minds of those who just think about what they want in life. Now, to actually operate, command, and get these things done, you have to have a plan. You have to do less. You have to stop going to these tables and these events where people get together and, quite frankly, talk a load of rubbish, because unless it's actually in action, in an operation, it's not a real thing. You're just wasting time. And some people are comfortable talking the talk, but you're not one of them. So if you're committed to yourself, there's a saying that you've definitely heard, that less is more. You got to do less. You got to stop leaking. And if you think of two buckets, two bottles, or two boxes, yeah, one has holes. So this box has holes in, and this one has no holes whatsoever. Now, if the box with holes in does the most, is loud, and leaks, it doesn't matter what they do, right? They're always going to have less than the box that's contained with no holes in, right? That's what I mean when I say less is more. So don't assume that the person projecting their aspirations, their goals out into the world, saying this is the year, this is going to be my year, this is going to be me. These are the leaks that you don't need to have. Commanding is having authority, and authority isn't always loud. Command is not loud in either, it's contained. You've got to be contained in order to operate, because all of this, yeah, with the holes and the leaks, it takes energy. And if you're projecting energy out into the world that's loud, that isn't actually action orientated, you're actually leaking, because you're not disciplined in what you're doing, because you're spending more time talking about it than actually making a move. A silent, powerful move from a contained box or contained person is a lot better than somebody making the move loudly who just leaks, because they're never going to do the most. Doing the most sometimes is just getting on with it and going through it. Now, what are the typical leaks that a lot of people have? So, spending more than you earn. If you make £1,000 a day and you spend over £1,000, you're always going to be leaking. You're always going to be out of control. And I'm not saying, yeah, that you should become this person who looks for discounts, who budgets or has coupons or has the apps on their phone to always be that squeaky guy or squeaky woman who is always looking for the bargain. I'm not saying have that mentality, but even if you see rich people or wealthy people, there's always a budget. As much as they look as if they live this fashionable, lavish life, they've only achieved that through being smart with money. You have to be smart. So definitely you should be making more money than you're spending. Emotional leaks. Whatever pulls you emotionally to come out of your containment. So whatever leaks your lifestyle, whether that's a relationship or certain elements of your life that's stealing your emotional capacity. So what in your life, yeah, are you not disciplined? You got to get control over your emotions. And simply, like I said, sitting in spaces that are not action driven, because everywhere you go, if you're not disciplined, you'll end up wasting your day around individuals in environments that simply are comfortable just talking. And talk isn't action, talk is just a waste of energy. So unless you're doing, it's better to do less. Like, don't even do the most in them conversations. The best thing you can do is get disciplined. The best thing you can actually do is do your very, very best to avoid getting into that scenario. Like, if you're action driven and you want to achieve your goals, you got to have the lifestyle to ensure that you're not in these places. But if you find yourself in these places, don't be shy to be the person who just gets up and leaves. Even if you're the weirdo, it's okay to be the weirdo. In fact, I'd rather be the weirdo in that scenario than okay, like everybody else, that it's normalized to just sit somewhere and just chat garbage. And at the end of the day, that's all they do. So if you go Monday, if you go Friday, if you go January or February with said people, that's all that they do. You're not one of them. If you've got ambitions that you're committed and willing to follow through and operate and execute and command and get authority, don't be shy to up and leave. And emotions, finances, lifestyle, you got to have some kind of discipline in your lifestyle to ensure it aligns and complements your goals. So I'm a fitness person, I'm a martial artist, so it makes every sense for me to have the discipline to go to the gym, train, be in environments that uplift me mentally, physically, and spiritually to ensure I stay aligned with my goals. And whatever you desire to do in your life, you got to ensure that what you do day in, day out complements your lifestyle. So definitely, if you're serious about getting equipped and becoming an operator in your life, don't seek to be loud with it. Maybe it's time for you to just be contained, for you to get the authority in your life and be in command. It's time for you to be the commander. It's time for you to become that operator. And if you're in a lifestyle that doesn't complement where you want to go, you have to understand there's a process. So when you start making changes, things shift, people change, people are comfortable with the familiarity of you. So don't be what's the word? Expect them to change around you. So if they are behaving differently or trying to pull onto you now that you're pulling out of this change, that's okay. You got to still remain grounded and have these strategies to ensure that these leaks that you're covering and patching up in your life remain fixed. Don't be shy to project your new values in your new lifestyle that you're committed to change to be an operator. And don't even think that sometimes you have to project it to people or to spaces. As long as you know, like I said, less is more. As long as you know what you're doing and it makes sense to you, it's fine. So if people understand and misunderstand, that's okay. That's how you grow. So when you outgrow certain spaces, those who understand will follow, and those who don't understand will fall off. And that's okay because it isn't about burning any bridges. Sometimes, well, most of the time, in order to grow, that's how things unravel. So you can't take everybody with you, and sometimes it's painful because you want to take people who you thought were supposed to come with you and they don't come along with you. That's life. You just got to keep going, stay focused on your path, stay disciplined, and operate in the right fashion.